If you're an anime fan that loves playing anime games, then you will know the cycle of anime gaming is like one big everlasting genjutsu. It goes something like this. A popular IP gets announced for an anime game and eventually a trailer drops. Once that trailer drops though, we as an anime community glaze it until that anime game releases. Once we get our hands on it though, the honeymoon phase lasts roughly 2 weeks to a month at max. Eventually that community starts pinpointing different problems about the game just to justify why it's hot ass. At that point, Bandai Namco will ghost us for months, but throw us DLC here and there to make us shut up. After that, Bandai will squeeze us dry from our pockets and then eventually the game dies. And then we'll have to twiddle our thumbs with our feet cocked up in the air until the next big anime game gets announced. And that's the everlasting cycle that we have to deal with over and over again. But there was one anime game I think didn't get a fair chance, and that game was called Jujutsu Kaisen Cursed Clash. Jujutsu Kaisen Cursed Clash is one of the few anime games I could say was truly special, and I believe it didn't deserve the hate that it got. After witnessing the shocking decline of Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, that's when I came to the realization that I could no longer take the opinion of the anime gaming community no longer seriously. Since people didn't realize Sparking Zero was a party game and it was never meant to be taken to EVO, people started crying about seeing the same characters in rank, complaining about our story mode that they seen for the millionth time, even though we have Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, and complain about certain characters being stronger than others, even though it's lower accurate to the show. No matter what angle you take though, the anime gaming community will always find something to bitch about, which is why I'm here today to not only defend Jujutsu Kaisen Cursed Clash, but also to explain why it's one of the most enjoyable anime games as of today. To give you some background about myself, I played essentially every mainstream anime game you could think of. From the pinnacle of anime gaming of Dragon Ball FighterZ and Naruto Storm 4 to absolute garbage such as Jump Force and One Punch Man, a hero nobody knows. I've seen it and pretty much played it all. However, I do appreciate developers taking risk here and there by doing anime games outside the typical copy and paste arena fighters. To give you some examples, anime games such as One Piece World Seeker, where you could explore freely as Monkey D. Luffy, or My Hero Ultra Rumble, where you could duke it out with your teammates in a battle royale format, which takes inspiration from the most popular battle royale out there, Fortnite. Or another good example is our Among Us clone, aka Death Note: The Killer Within. However, despite me giving those examples, the two anime games I'm very fond of are actually arena fighters, and guess what? I have over 500 plus hours on both of these games.
What?
But if we're being technical, it's the format of how the game is structured, which is why I could play these games hours on end. And those games are J-Star's Victory vs. Plus and Jujutsu Kaisen Cursed Clash. Personally speaking though, I think Cursed Clash redefined the 2v2 arena fighter format and polished it in a way to make it more enjoyable to play. Now before I go on a glazed marathon on why I love Jujutsu Kaisen Cursed Clash, I would like to establish that there were other anime games that had the same 2v2 format, but the execution of it were a couple steps away from being great, which is why I have a bigger appreciation for Cursed Clash in the first place. And each of these anime games I will mention have a certain charm about them, a certain charm that made them great in their own unique way. Starting off with number 1, 7 Deadly Sins: Knights of Britannia. This game had potential, but there was two main things that made this game suffer tremendously. Reason number 1, the combat system was so damn stiff to the point where your main combat route was essentially teleporting behind your opponent unless you play someone like Bond, where you could easily open up your opponent's guard. Reason number 2 why this game was hot garbage was due to the fact that the health bar was shared between allies. What the hell was the dev team thinking?
What's so bad about sharing a health bar with your teammate?
That means if you have a sorry ass teammate, the health bar will go down for the both of you at the same time since it's shared. This leads to the next game on why it's a tad bit better, and that game is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure: Eyes of Heaven. Eyes of Heaven was damn near perfect. In this particular game, instead of sharing the same health bar, you and your teammate had individual health bars. Eyes of Heaven also had unique movesets such as Wardo, which freezes everyone on the map, including the timer. They also had unique character interactions amongst the cast, despite them being from different parts of the series, and the stages were also very well designed as well. On top of that, certain items or events would trigger on the map, and it could either help you get the dub or hold the absolute shit out of you. The only problem with this game that kept it from being peak was the netcode. Oh my god, that netcode was straight toilet water. You would think that this game was a PowerPoint presentation how slow you would move. However, playing this game offline was drastically different. It was so smooth you would think Diddy personally added virtual baby oil to the netcode. Now for the last anime game which I mentioned before, J-Star's Victory vs. Plus.
This shit means something to me, man.
This 2v2 anime game damn near encapsulated what this genre should be. Destructible environments, overpowered abilities faithful to the source materials, and the chaotic nature to the game gave it so much replay value, especially since the roster was so diverse. They had Suna from Hitman Reborn, Koro Sensei from Assassination Classroom, Jintoki from Gintama, and so much more. You also had separate health bars with stocks so you could still win even if you had a garbage teammate. With all those different anime games over the years, we eventually got our hands on Jujutsu Kaisen Cursed Clash. Let the glazing begin. One of the first things I love about this game is the roster. Each character feels and play differently. You got characters such as Sukuna who could one-shot you with his domain expansion and can recover his own health with RCT. You got characters such as Toji, for example, who could easily traverse across the map and cut through cursed techniques such as Gojo's limitless technique just like in the show. Or you could confuse the hell out of the opposite team by swapping positions with them with the boogie woogie technique by playing as Toto. Basically, every match feels different, and some characters may overwhelm you based off their cursed technique or just pure strength alone. However, with all the different types of abilities that this game has to offer, you could change the flow of battle in an instant depending on the synergy with your teammate. This leads to my second reason why I enjoy this game so much. It's simply jumping someone just like in the show. The sense of enjoyment I have just jumping a nigga online, especially with friends on this game, is way different compared to if I was doing a 1v1 type of fighting game. Just look at the joy I had jumping this one guy in this clip.
Get it, yeah, you're done. Get another crate, give me that shit. Oh fuck.
Dumbass up.
Oh, easy money, easy money.
Yep.
Yep, you know what to do,
Yep.
Fuck.
Hold up.
Oh yeah, you fucked up nigga, you fucked up nigga. Get his ass,
God damn. Hold up. Should I do it?
Oh yeah, nigga.
Should I do it? You know what sounds good, Mundo Secti? Leave it on that goddamn
This brings me to my last reason, which is the replay value I get out of this game. Creating amazing and funny moments you can share with your friends. Don't get me wrong, story mode games such as Persona 5 or 1v1 games such as Dragon Ball FighterZ are fun, but I don't get that same level of excitement playing those games or the same amount of replay value. And I'm pretty sure someone's in the chat right now saying,
what if I don't have any friends or have anyone to play with on this game?
Fear not, little Timmy.
Feel free to join our Cursed Clash Discord server by clicking the link down below, or if downloading the Discord app is too much of an inconvenience for you, I can add you to our PlayStation community chat so you can be a part of active players who love playing Cursed Clash on the regular. Unfortunately, every game in general has a decline in player base at some point for different reasons. However, I don't believe the hate for Cursed Clash was justified, and if you're like me who's been in the anime gaming scene for a while, you know how things go. On the other perspective though, since there are a lot of fans of Jujutsu Kaisen and this being the first JJK game, people expectations were through the roof. Some people were expecting a full-blown Naruto Storm type game with cinematic cutscenes developed by CyberConnect 2. There were also some people who expected the story of Jujutsu Kaisen to be retold and flushed out similar to Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, but if you pay attention to how the game was advertised, that wasn't the case at all. The very first trailer was advertised as a 2v2 arena fighter, a party type game to play with your friends. It showcased movesets such as Yuji, Gojo, and Megumi. The other trailers did the same thing by revealing other characters over time. The advertising for Cursed Clash was barely about promoting the other modes in the game because it wasn't the main selling point. Bandai Namco even had the English voice actors from the show to advertise the gameplay. The panel was marketed more as a party type game to play with your friends and them showcasing movesets for some of the characters. So when I saw the hate for this game, it felt disingenuous. It was even more annoying when I saw content creators who barely knew anything about Jujutsu Kaisen and proceeded to ask stupid questions like why regular hits don't even inflict damage to opponents when they said in the tutorial that cursed energy is the main source in order to do damage. I also saw people complain about the story mode, which was reasonable, but it wasn't a shock to me because that's not how the game was advertised. And me being an anime fan of these anime games, I already had an idea what to expect from this particular game in general. To close up my argument, witnessing the downfall of Sparking Zero was quite the sight to see, because the amount of hype for that game was so immense, you would think Sparking Zero would be the turning point for the anime gaming community. But no, it turned out to be a disappointment like any other anime game for most people. Now I will say this, the critiques that Sparking Zero received amongst the community was dumb because the Budokai Tenkaichi games didn't have online back in the day, so people didn't have to deal with the toxicity of people playing like a sweat to get a dub in rank. The best moments you would hear about this series was through friends playing with each other because at the end of the day it was meant to be a party type game. If you want certain aspect of a Dragon Ball game like a more fleshed out story, then play Kakarot. If you want a more competitive DBZ game, play Fighters or the Budokai series. There's a Dragon Ball game for everyone. Dragon Ball Z games is like listening to Drake's music. There's a niche for everyone to indulge in. As for me, I like to focus on more on the fun aspects of gaming and seeing if a game has a lot of replay value. Luckily enough, that's what Jujutsu Kaisen Cursed Clash embodies. The embodiment of fun and the sense of overwhelming enjoyment with friends that you can have over and over again. And if you've struggled making friends on this game, like I said before, join our community today. Help us revive this game and bring back the concept of having fun with friends and our love for Cursed Clash. And hopefully down the road, we'll get even better JJK games and our continued support in vocalizing what we want as a community.